Hey, I'm Congilio, and welcome to my TrueFire YouTube blog. This is video number 2, and in this blog I'm showing you examples of my upcoming course called 50 Blues Rhythms You Must Know. Now, if you've checked out video number 1, you've noticed that we were kind of in this first position, open position area of the guitar. We played a 12-bar blues rhythm, and what we're going to do now is take some of those ideas and chord inversions that we used, move them up the neck of the guitar. We're still in the key of A, still a 12-bar blues. This time we're going to play a shuffle. And we're going to use, like I said, some of the old shapes that we did in video number 1, but we're going to add some new stuff too, which is going to create this nice sort of easy foundational education for us. This is really important stuff because we're not just soloing all the time. We really need to know how to get around this guitar when we're playing blues rhythm. We're backing singers, we're backing other soloists and that sort of thing. And it keeps it fresh on stage. You're not just stuck in one spot in the guitar. Let me play this one, and then I'll break it down. I'll show you some of the inversions and have a bit of a chat about it. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, the first thing you might notice is that, yeah, this is a 12-bar blues progression, but we're doing it with what we call a quick 4 change. Typically, with our 1-4-5 progression, our A7 being 1, the 1 chord, the D7 being the 4 chord, and the E7 being the 5 chord, it's usually 4 bars of the 1 chord, then the 4 chord, then back to the 1, then the turnaround. In this example, we're doing 1 bar of 1, quickly changing to the D7, and then back to the A7 for the next 2 bars, which would be number 3 and 4 in the progression. You may hear somebody call, hey, we're going to play a 12-bar quick 4. So you need to know what that is, and I wanted to play an example like that. Let's talk about the chords. So we have an A7 bar chord shape, and if you've been playing guitar for a little while, if you're beginner, intermediate, advanced intermediate, it's a good chance you've played a bar chord. For this A7, we're barring all of the strings on the 5th fret, and then our second finger is playing the C sharp on the 3rd string, 6th fret. Third finger is going to get the E on the 5th string, 7th fret. It's going to give us that kind of sound. Then what's cool is, if you remember from video number 1, and if you haven't watched, go back and check it out, study up. I played an E7 like this, where it's kind of like an E open chord with the pinky added there. What I did was I moved that all the way up the neck, and I'm only playing the inside 4 strings here. And I really like to do that when I play rhythm guitar. I think it gets out of the way of the bass player, or if maybe there's a Hammond B3 type of player, they can take care of that lower muddy stuff, when we want to play more of this sort of brighter stuff that punches out. I'm not even a huge bar chord fan, but I think it's nice to add in this example. So we have our A7 bar to an A7/E, we could call it. The notes are as follows: E, 5th string 7th, A, 4th string 7th, C sharp, again same spot but with a different finger this time. That's on 3rd string 6th, and then we're getting the G note to achieve our flat 7 sound on the 2nd string with the pinky, 8th fret. There it is. Then we're going to move down to a D7 bar shape. Again, 5th fret, covering strings 5 through 1 this time. Our notes with these fingers are A, again 4th string, 7th fret, and then F sharp, which creates that 3rd sound. So that's our D7 bar chord shape. It's reminiscent of the A7 open shape Of course, I'd never play it that way. I'm just showing you for sort of an example here. So you see how we're tying all this together. That's the idea. So the D7. Then we play this D7 shape. And we could call that D7/A. As a matter of fact, in the tablature, manuscript, and all that stuff that you get with the course, you actually will see all these chord diagrams and all that stuff too. And if you listen closely, somebody mentioned about the train in the background. Well, it just so happens I do these videos at the same time, and there's always a train that seems to be going by my studio. So I'm not in the Mississippi Delta or any place cool like that, so but I am in a pretty cool town. Anyway, back to the D7. There he is. D7, D7, and that is just like the shape we played for A7 in video number 1. So if you move it up here for D7, we're on the 7th fret. We're borrowing strings 4, 3, and 2, which gives us the notes A, D, and F sharp respectively, with a C on the first string, 8th fret, and then back to A7, A7, and then E7, E7. So do the same thing, just move up the example. Let me take some of this overdrive off here. Okay, so we got E7, E7, D7, D7, and then A7. What's cool, you're learning shapes that you kind of already touched on, but you're putting them in a new context, a new spot on the guitar. I also want to mention one thing I noticed when I'm playing a lot of these shapes. People have commented on my thumb. Well, I'm one of these guys that likes to wrap his thumb around the neck. Why? Because I want that stuff to stay quiet. I want it to be dead, and I want the thumb to mute, because if I'm playing, so I don't want to be grabbing it like that. That would be bad. It's a natural habit. I just kind of go, so it kind of makes things muted when I need it to be. See? So, you know, Hendrix wrapped his thumb around the neck, so can I. That's the way I look at it. Let me play the example once more. This one's short and sweet, and I'll send you on your way. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's that A7, D7, like the open shape, and back to the 5. There you have it, blues rhythm number 2. Look for the course, 50 blues rhythms you must know. It's going to be coming out soon. A lot of you have been asking, where do I get my sound, and how do I get my sound when I'm doing these recordings? Typically, I'm using what's called the Avid 11 rack, and it's a recording interface guitar device that you can kind of program sounds like an amp modeler type of thing. If you own one, and you need some help with some tones, I save all of mine, and I'd be happy to send them to you if you contact me through my website, CoreyCongilio.com. Search me, you'll see the spelling of my name on YouTube. And visit TrueFire, because I got some other stuff there too for you to check out. Again, this is video number 2 in my TrueFire YouTube blog for blues rhythms. I'm Corey Congilio, and I'll see you next time.